prophet Isaiah. On this mountain the Lord of hosts will prepare for all peoples a banquet of rich food, a banquet of fine wines, of food rich and juicy, of fine strained wines. On this mountain he will remove the mourning veil covering all peoples and the shroud enwrapping all nations. He will destroy death forever. The Lord will wipe away the tears from every cheek. He will take away his people's shame everywhere on earth, for the Lord has said so. That day it will be said, "See, this is our God in whom we hoped for salvation. The Lord is the one in whom we hoped. We exult and we rejoice, for he has saved us. For the hand of the Lord rests on this mountain." The prophet Isaiah lived during a time of war and political upheaval, and as is often the case even today, when there's war, there's famine. It's no surprise then that when he sees a vision of heaven, he sees a mountain of food, and not just any food, fine, rich foods and the best wines. Now that's a vision of heaven I can buy into. But more than that, in Isaiah's vision, death itself is destroyed, every tear is wiped away, and mourning is done away with. It's as if Isaiah looks around at the world destroyed by humans, full of pain and suffering, and compares it to the world that God has prepared for us. Sometimes we really can mess up our lives. We can make foolish or reckless decisions that have lasting and painful consequences for ourselves and for those we love. In our pain, we can lash out and cause pain to those closest to us. Not all famines are about an absence of food. Sometimes we experience a famine of love, of companionship or relationship. And not all wars are fought with guns and bombs. Some are fought with words, in our minds, against ourselves, and even in our own families. Isaiah sees all of this destroyed, destruction. He sees all of it done away with by God. And that's good news. Good news because we see in Jesus that Isaiah's vision is fulfilled. Isaiah tells us to exult and rejoice because God has saved us. And that's good advice. But if you notice in the reading, just before he tells us to rejoice, he tells us to hope. If we put our hope in Jesus, we won't be left disappointed. Hoping in Jesus now leads us to rejoicing with him for all eternity. God bless.